Hello and welcome to CoreTV News on the Hour. I am Omotayo Alo. The Court of Appeals sitting in Abuja has annulled the election of the Speaker, Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Anyaka Uko, who also represent Ibesipo Ashtan constituency. A three-man panel led by Justice Mashood Oredola upheld the lower court's decision that the election was characterized by electoral irregularities. The appellate court, however, ordered for a rerun in the constituency within 90 days. A high court sitting in Ado-Ekiti, the Ekiti state capital, has dismissed the case filed by the All Progressives Congress, APC, to stop the conduct of Saturday's 19th of December local government election in the state. The APC had approached the court to challenge the composition of the State Independent Electoral Commission, alleging that the commission's members were current members of the ruling People's Democratic Party. The court, however, dismissed the case for lack of merit, saying that the claimant could not prove its case beyond reasonable doubt, even as the APC is vowed to pursue its case to the appeal court. Rashid reports.
There was tight security in and around the State High Court. The presence of the security operatives is to forestall any breakdown of law and order due to the case to be delivered by Justice Dede Omotosho of High Court 7, who is presiding over a case filed by the All Progressives Congress challenging the composition of the State Independent Electoral Commission. After several hours of citing different case precedents on similar cases, Justice Dede Omotosho ruled that the APC's case lacked merit and therefore struck it out, while jubilation greeted the judgment outside the court. To the PDP and its counsel, they have this to say.
We have been of the view that this is one case that is hopeless, and we have been vindicated by this judgment.
They went to court because they could not, what they could not get through the political means, they wanted to hijack through the judicial means.
But to the APC and its counsel, the Court of Appeal is the next line of action.
The judgment in totality is perverse. We are appealing against the judgment.
We are going forward immediately in ensuring that we get judgment. We are very sure we'll get justice on this matter.
With the court case over for now, the coast may be clear for the local council elections on Saturday. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado-Ekiti.
Senate President Bukola Saraki says protecting women against gender-based violence is necessary towards realizing a better future envisaged for the country. He affirmed this at the opening of a two-day sensitization meeting with youth groups on gender-based violence in Abuja. Abiola Oluwole has more from the event organized by Women Arise Initiative.
Globally, finding permanent solution to the rising trend of violence against women has continued to elude policy makers. The Ejigbo pepper assault, where pepper was allegedly rubbed on the body and private parts of some women as punishment for stealing, is still fresh in the minds of many. It is against this backdrop that our two-day workshop to raise the consciousness of younger generation against gender-based violence was put together by Women Arise Initiative. Declaring the workshop open, Senate President Bukola Saraki maintains that it will be difficult for any society to develop without ensuring prompt justice against violence against women, a position supported by the keynote speaker, Senator Dino Melaye.
It's the most important resource the country has. At present, over 60% of our population, which is a significant workforce, and the human resource base for Nigeria's economic development. The ability to protect them from gender-based violence sharpens their capacity to be part of the great future we desire for our country. A child that is vulnerable to GBV will end up being as inefficient as an unsharpened and blunt knife. He or she will not have the cutting edge to deliver efficiently. Let me state here today that if we decide as a nation that violence against young persons must stop, nothing stops us from pursuing this as an ideal and achieving it.
I will want every one of us here to decide to either walk in the light of creative altruism or we perish in the darkness of destructive selfishness. You must decide today to be a change agent. You must decide today to become an advocate against violence against young persons, and it must start from your home, from your workplace, from your school, from your surroundings, you must today indoctrinate and imbibe that basic rudiment of championing this cause.
The convener of the summit and President Women Arise Initiative, Joe Oke-Odumakin, urged government to do more to reduce, if not eliminate, gender-based violence.
Gender-based violence among youths in our society has shot high in prevalence, and statistics are staggering. The Nigerian youths represent the future of this country, and there must therefore be concerted efforts to reduce the incidence of gender-based violence among young persons in Nigeria.
The workshop, which attracted participants from across the country, is expected to come up with a workable solution that could be adopted by government and civil society in the fight against gender-based violence. Abiola Oluwole, CoreTV News, Abuja.
Senate President Bukola Saraki has again insisted that there is nothing like anti-social media bill before the Senate. He also maintained that the frivolous petition bill sponsored by Senator Bala Ibn Nahala is not targeted at gargling the media. Speaking in the same vein, Senator Dino Melaya affirmed that the people's will prevail during the consideration of the contentious bill.
But I want to assure Nigerians that the Senate that we have is your Senate and is one that will continue to work closely. It's not our intention to gag any social media at all. We want to run an open Senate we have so that you can be part of it, and by being part of it, we can get a better country. Because we are 109 of us cannot say we know everything. It is by getting inputs from you that we can make better laws.
I want to announce that there is nothing like social media bill before the Senate. This is a misrepresentation, and Nigerians, I'm sorry to say, we are gullible. Once a mistake is made or a misinformation is placed, there's always a bandwagon effect.
Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, has visited the scene of Sunday's fire at NTA's Earth Station in Abuja. The minister says the explanation got from the staff is that the fire was as a result of a technical fault with the dehumidifier. However, expressed relief that no life was lost in the fire incident. The Information Minister was taken around the fire scene by NTA Director General Shola Omole.
The important thing is to be sure that we abide and we're very vigilant, we're very careful, and there's no negligence. I cannot trust any negligence to this particular incident, and I think this will apply to any other installations we have. We should not be negligent. We should be, we should be very attentive, and there should be no sabotage.
We'll take a break now, and when we return, we'll bring you more stories. Stay with us.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water, and new TT.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
Buhari won the election convincingly.
Talk to our husband that you should keep promise about what you said, and because people are watching you, another election is coming.
Also, some people will stand for Yoruba land. Will be strong man. You don't die.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
Welcome. If you're just joining us, it's CoreTV News on the Hour. For more news and information, visit our social media platform, facebook.com/CoreTV News, our Twitter handle @CoreTV News NG. You could get more on our YouTube channel. youtube.com/CoreTV, Live Streets and News. The army authorities have confirmed that the Shiite leader Ibrahim el-Zakzaki is in custody alongside his wife. General Officer Commanding 1 Marginalized Division, Kaduna, Major General Deni Oyebade, says they are in protective custody. He disclosed this at a news conference in Kaduna and called to clear the air on the clash between soldiers and members of the Shiite group in Zaria. Amina Anebi has won this report presented from our studio.
It is the day after soldiers stormed the headquarters of the Islamic Movement of Nigeria in Zaria after an alleged attempt to assassinate the chief of army staff. The group claimed that a number of its members were killed during the siege and were not sure about the whereabouts of its leader, el-Zakzaki. But the army authorities have now confirmed that he is in what they say is protective custody alongside his wife.
And because of the reports we had that we are mobilizing, and there are 3 key strong points, I decided that I have to bring the situation under control by securing those 3 sites. That is what they call the big temple, the big shrine, Osenia, the area occupied by the sect leader, Gelesu, and another temple somewhere on Dambo Road.
The general maintains that the army has nothing against the Shiite members, but argued that there is need to maintain law and order. He also insisted that the army is not out to disregard the fundamental human rights in discharging its responsibilities to the nation.
We tried as much as possible not to engage the Shiite members with lethal weapons, but we are faced with serious attacks, including spears, metal pellets fired using catapults, daggers, locally made pistols, and so many other dangerous weapons. In the course of these engagements, of course, there were casualties.
The police, for their part, say the Shiites do not secure permits before embarking on processions.
They don't recognize any constituted authority. They don't recognize any government, talk less of police, so they don't apply for police authority. So we find it very difficult whenever we have any case with them.
The army acknowledged that a number of Shiites died in the operation, but also noted that there were casualties on its side. It did not give any casualty figure on both sides and denied claims that members of the group were denied the opportunity of picking the corpse of their colleagues for burial.
The governor of Niger State, Abubakar Sani Bello, has reiterated the role of the state government towards secondary education in the state. He has directed that status quo in government policy and payment of examination fee for SSC should be maintained. He further stressed the role of parents in exposing defaulting principals, saying parents are to report any principal that may want to force them to pay for the 2 examinations. School principals are only permitted to collect fee for only one of the 2 examinations, while the government will pay for the other. To this end, parents of SS3 students are to pay for either WAEC or NECO, while government will pick the bill of the other examination. President of the National Industrial Safety Council of Nigeria, Regina Ayan, has challenged the Senate on implementing conducive environment policies for the Nigerian labor force. He stated that Nigerian workers perform their duties under unfavorable conditions. Sarah Yeku has more.
The banter between the Nigeria Governors Forum and the labor unions over the national minimum wage is not only the problem facing the Nigerian labor force. As a side dish is the issue of workers' ill treatment by employers, ranging from benefit cuts to merger remuneration and safety insurance to poor welfare, The labor force, which is saddled with the responsibility of equipping the economy, can be said to be ill-treated by not only foreigners, but also Nigerians. For these safety experts, industrialists in Nigeria have for long shortchanged the Nigerian market, and it stresses that the Senate are oblivious of the plight of workers in Nigeria.
It is not only foreigners that are killing Nigerians. Nigerian manufacturers are also indulging in the killing of Nigerian workers. I addressed the Senate Ethics, Privilege and Public Petition, where I tendered the list of Nigerian workers, Nigerian industries that are killing Nigerians every day, disabling Nigerians. Today I wait on the Senate to react to that presentation I made to the Senate.
More so, he explains that corruption is a factor barring the Senate from speedily considering the proposal sent by the National Industrial Safety Council.
If it's not if what is the killing of Nigerians in Nigerian industries? If it's not corruption, what is it? You have to answer that. If it's not corruption, what is it? I want to know. You have an answer. It's only corruption that can, you see organization that is killing you Nigerians, we Nigerians, and you allow the company to go. You claim that the company is sealed. You go and find out the company is operating. What happened? Senate should come out with this solution.
Land, capital, entrepreneurship, and with labor being the most important and driving factor in the production mix in a vibrant economy, Nigerians are hopeful that the National Assembly will look into the plight of the workforce in earnest. Sarah Ayeku, CoreTV News, Lagos.
Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation is targeting a rise in oil prices in 2016. It has also seen a reduction in Nigeria's losses in the oil market from 15 to 12 billion naira. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Ibe Kachiku, disclosed this at a news conference ahead of the 6th African Petroleum Congress, an exhibition in Abuja. He attributed the development to cost-cutting measures NNPC has adopted in the view of the volatile oil situation.
The huge price of oil over the years have culminated in almost an acquisitive upward movement of oil costs, because encouraged by oil prices. And so in an era of tumbling oil prices, we need to go back to what was our base advantage, which is producing as the least cost producer. We would expect to see that, and that strategy was understood. We anticipated that. We expect that prices will begin to bounce upwards about February, and the decision was that our next meeting is for June, but we have said that the President would have the liberty to call an extraordinary OPEC meeting if we found that the indexes are not happening the way we anticipated, which is twofold. One, if the prices do not begin to trajectorily move northwards, or if in fact the barrels from non-OPEC countries do not begin to continue to exit the market the way it has been. And so that's going to determine what we call the conference.
The National Communications Commission has assured Nigerians of better broadband infrastructure and improved internet penetration in the coming years. Executive Vice Chairman of the Commission, Umar Dambata, gave the assurance on the sidelines of an award ceremony for students of tertiary institutions who won an NCC-organized debate tagged Broadband, a Tool for National Development in Abuja. Kazim Kasali has more.
It is an award ceremony for an NCC debate for university undergraduates, but since it's centered around broadband, it afforded the Commission an opportunity to disclose its development plans for the communications sector.
Broadband, provision, deployment, services, no matter how you're going to look at it, forms or is going to form a major strategic thrust of the vision that I have for this, for the NCC as well as for the industry in Nigeria.
Going further, he says the Commission will work with all stakeholders in the sector to ensure that concessionaires in the provision of infrastructure for the sector deliver for improved services and penetration.
We, the lecturers in Nigerian universities, argue, we advance very strong and convincing argument that the transformational effect of broadband will be comparable to the transformation that witnessed during the advent of electrical power networks. You can imagine what our lives will be without electricity supply. And very soon it will be unthinkable to think of a life without broadband services.
And since it was an award ceremony, the winners had to speak on their presentations.
Patients can relate with their doctors who are staying far away. Then the World Health Organization states that every year we spend $5,000 billion on health. But we have a chance of cutting down 20% of these expenses if you can establish broadband access in our health sector.
My sister to register for JAMB online, and I can receive more courses, even more courses than the one I will receive in the classroom, even while in the office. I will have time to sit down in my office, settle down, learn more, attend to customers, and improve my capability and accessibility. That is the objective.
3.2 increase in the GDP. A more baffling one is actually the one from Latin America, provided by Inter-American Development Bank. They noticed that amongst these countries, that 10% increase led to 3% increase in GDP.
The Communications Commission hopes to use the debate to elicit interest amongst Nigerians on its quest for better broadband infrastructure in the country. Kazim Kasali, CoreTV News, Abuja.
We'll take a break now, and when we come, we'll bring you a story from outside Nigeria and sport. Stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, our 24-hour news station.
Welcome. And on the foreign scene, Saudi Arabia discloses that 34 mainly Muslim nations have joined a new military alliance to fight terrorism, and a joint operations center is to be established in the Saudi Arabia capital, Riyadh. Countries from Asia, Africa and the Arab world are involved in the alliance, but Saudi Arabia's main regional rival, Iran, is not. This comes amid international pressure for Gulf Arab states to do more in the fight against so-called Islamic State. Saudi Defense Minister Mohammed bin Salman said the new alliance would coordinate efforts against extremists in Iraq, Syria, Libya, Egypt and Afghanistan. It might interest you to know that Saudi Arabia is part of the US-led coalition against ISIS and is also leading a military intervention in Yemen against Shia Houthi rebels. And in the world of sport, the president of the Nigerian Football Federation, Amaju Pinnick, says the African Under-23 Cup of Nations champions Dream Team 6 will be received officially in Abuja at a date to be fixed by the Federation. On why the team was not received in Abuja like the Golden Eaglet, the NFF boss said there were no plans to host them on arrival due to the busy schedule of the Federation. But he insisted that the work of the Under-23 champions would be appreciated. The Dream Team 6 arrived Lagos early hours of Monday and were expected in Abuja, but football fans and the sporting press left the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport disappointed after realizing that the team was disbanded in Lagos and would converge on a later date for the reception at the Glass House. And it's a wrap on CoreTV News at this hour. Thank you so very much for joining us. My name is Omotayo Alo.